Let me record this and also share my screen. Hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Market is treating them really well. So आज के session में what I'm gonna do is like basically go through all the probable high tide flags like we do, and also add on to a little bit of learning in terms of what to do and what not to do, or in the sense like what adds to the probability and what doesn't add to the probability. Okay. So if anyone can just give a thumbs up, I am audible and my screen is visible, would be great. Thank you Kaustubh, thank you Samir, thank you Agamjit. Bas, ho gaya. All right, guys. So let's go to the highlight flag list. Uday has a question, even before the start of the session.
No, that was instead of a thumbs up, it became a hand
Oh,
up.
okay, no problem. ठीक है. Okay, more people are joining. That's great. So here's the highlight flag list, and quite a lot of. I mean, there are a decent number of lists. So the first learning today, right, of the first ball of the bat is to say that one, uh, you have to track high tide flags from start to finish. So what happens is IRCTC high tide flag tha until some point of time here. Until some point of time माने after that what happened, it ceased to be a high tide flag because possibly 25% से ज़्यादा हो गया और इधर बेस भी लंबा हो गया. ठीक है. तो क्या होता है, the thing is once high tide flag, if you track high tide flags until they are no longer high tide flags, what happens, they become IHTFs, इंडियन वर्जन में हमको थोड़ा ये चक होने से भी चलेगा, थोड़ा लंबा होने से भी चलेगा. एंड देन इवन इफ इट डजंट सीज टू बिकम ए आई हाइटेड फ्लैग, थोड़ा लंबा हो जाने से इट देन बिकम्स अ बिग बेस. ओके. So this is the learning today. Tracking high tide flags every day will lead to high tide flags becoming I high tide flags becoming to big bases. And big bases का, why big bases are so good? Because big base breakouts are tremendous. माने if you can catch big base breakouts and catch big base breakouts regularly, then you will have like this sort of return in couple of days only. Of course, sometimes it doesn't happen so fast, sometimes it happens a little slow, but the fact remains that the mast of high tide flag can become a bigger base, and the breakout of those kind of bigger base is very lucrative. Okay. So that is the learning I wanted to impart, and this is all experiential learning. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं फर्स्ट डे ही बोल दिया, आप लोग भी ये एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हो मेरे साथ. मैं कोई टाइम पास का झूठ मूठ का चीज़ें नहीं बोलता हूँ यहाँ पे. तो आई होप यू ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड all of the things which are related to high tide flags and how the routine which we are following to do this can be enhanced, can be enhancing your trading in a lot of other ways also. तो देन लेट्स नाउ गो टू वन बाय वन. सो देखिए, अदानी एनर्जी सॉल्यूशंस बहुत बढ़िया हाई टाइड फ्लैग बना के बैठा हुआ है. एंड टू बी ऑनेस्ट नाउ हमें यहाँ पे एक चीट एंट्री खुल गई है. बेसिकली इस डे के हाई के ऊपर चीट एंट्री बन रही है, और ये ओनिल पिवट एंट्री तो ऑब्वियसली इसके ऊपर बनेगी. ठीक है. सो एवरीथिंग इज़ फाइन. Now I'll also open up this panel because now you guys are also very comfortable with my Mars and how I use Mars. Okay. So you can also like previous learning is basically the entry which is also supported or confirmed by the Mars crossback is a better one, right? So we will probably see a lot of examples of this. अदानी ग्रीन में भी आ चुका है. दिस वाज द पुल बैक एंट्री, एंड आई हैव सेड कि यू गाइस कैन टेक एनी काइंड ऑफ एंट्रीज यू वांट नाउ. This would be the another entry. So this is, most of the Adani stocks are poised with really great flags which has all the good characteristics, in the sense bases are very nice, they are all the volumes are getting lesser and lesser. भाई इससे ज़्यादा less नहीं हो सकता volume, right? So you can see that the volume on the mast on this day, you can see that it was was 1.6 million, right? And the latest today was, अरे एक सेकेंड ये नहीं है. So the volume on the mass, the biggest volume was 67.43 million, whereas today it's 1.6 million. So imagine 67 times lesser than the peak day. So that is quite a lot of this one, right? So these are the things you have to see. स्मॉल बेस ब्रेकआउट जनरली थोड़ा टाइम लेता है रीटेस्ट विटेस्ट करने के लिए, एंड सो मेक श्योर दैट वी यू आर नॉट ट्रेडिंग स्मॉल बेस, राइट. आनंद राठी बहुत बढ़िया 1T. दिस इज सेकेंड टी. Angelo Matthews eventually sort of broke out, and we also got a little bit of a confirmation here, but अभी फिर किच 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 कर रहा है, but looks good all in all. Angel 1 actually looks good, okay. Anic Industries, again, this is, I like this. Why? Because you see, everything is cyclical, so things cannot always go on making like relative strength high से high नहीं होएगा, right. So what you want is to pick your entry when the relative strength is increasing, not at the top. Okay, this is a very important concept which many people generally, when they think about relative strength, oh, high relative strength wala maal uthana chahiye. Of course, but you high relative strength, which is in this case was the highest, usse zyada important hai to catch at a point when you know that relative strength itself is increasing and positive, you know. So for example, at this point was relative strength positive and sort of increasing, you know. अपोलो भाई ये और कितना टाइट हो गया, मतलब दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द बेस्ट, लाइक वन ऑफ द बेस्ट in terms of risk reward, you know. So just giving you a small example, I mean this can be an high tide flag, Indian HTF, because थोड़ा सा लंबा हो जाएगा. But imagine like if one has to trade this, and let's say you have your ये pivot को हटा के यहाँ पे लेके आएंगे, because this is also a pivot high, okay. Always pivots should go on pivot high. तो हम यहाँ पे नहीं लगाएंगे, यहाँ पे नहीं लगाएंगे. We'll do this because this high is higher than the previous two. That's what makes it a pivot high. So now imagine if one can get an entry at about 119, 112, 1120, right? Then the kind of stop loss he can afford, or he or she can afford, is basically 5%. Now 5%, with a 5% stop loss, you can afford to put 20% of your account in a stock. Now of course, if the size of your portfolio itself is like some crores, which is almost the float of the free float tradable number of stocks, then it will be a little problem. But if you are dealing in lakhs, you know, that's possible. So tight areas will give you an opportunity to size your trades, you know. So Apollo getting better and better. Asha Poonam in first T, second T. अभी देखते क्या होता है, right? But hopefully this guy comes back, and then when it is going to start pointing upwards, that is the time you need to pinpoint your entry. And like I said again, Adani stocks are all like poised and making this one. But again, ऐसा what could happen, what might happen is, you know, again, because you've seen this already, this guy might come here, make the first T, then come make the second T, then come and make the third T. And this is, I'm just picking up on ATGL, but this, any high tide flag can do this, right? And that is why also, like, आप इधर घुस गए तो you will get some 10-15%, but you will also not get, you might also have to spend a lot of time waiting for the actual breakout. So that's always the give and take. But I'm again, like, everyone is seeking different kind of percentages out of the market, and the thing is, like, even this entry can be tradable, right? BHEL, this is a very small base breakout, although it's broken out, but I actually don't like this. Now I can tell you guys I don't like this. Why? Because you also know it's a very small base, right? Birla Money is setting up to be a really nice this one, and आज possibly एक pivot मिला हमें, and anything above this, a violent breakout is a good one. And hopefully when that breakout happens, we also, now the Mars also goes to the positive zone. and again a hot sector. So ब्लिप जीएस होपफुली नियर टू द रिवर्सल पॉइंट, नियर। अभी तक कुछ सेटअप ऐसा दिख रहा नहीं है यहाँ पे। इट्स देर इज़ नो सेटअप अवेलेबल, but it's again setting up. Brigade Enterprise, a very strong sector. So T1, hopefully T2, and if T3 comes, then सोने पे सुहागा. T3s inside a base are one of the best. Oh, okay. So BSC is also something which I traded yesterday. I have forgotten to update the my sheet. I apologize for that. But yesterday it was a NPBA, pullback anticipation entry. Now I anticipated and entered at around 2370 something. Okay, and I could have entered today also, but I didn't. I didn't have that. But why I entered here is because stocks have a character. So when you see the character of BSE, every time from a very low level, whenever this guy has appeared, whenever the क्या बोलते हैं इसको, BBB, buy before breakout has appeared, the move has followed after that very soon, either on the same day or after a couple of days. So similarly यहाँ पे भी आया एक दिन के बाद आया मेन ब्रेकआउट, राइट। सो ये मैं देख रहा हूँ बहुत टाइम से, लाइक from this area, from like whenever it was 400 500. So now here this ये निकला and then the base breakout happened. This निकला and then the momentum burst happened. ये निकला, base breakout again happened, and yesterday we got the BBB, and that's what my entry was, and hopefully we have just started to get in. Okay, so again yesterday I actually got a very small stop loss. आपको दिखाता हूँ मैं 30 minutes में जाके. So today is Tuesday, Monday. So I think somewhere around here I got in, and so essentially my stop loss was below this level. So I entered here somewhere 2370. 2373 was my entry, I think. So my stop loss was actually very small. So this is what the anticipation, pullback anticipations are going to give you. Okay. And you can also see that although because it's an anticipation, you will not get the confirmation of Mars confirmation is what we are hoping, and that will come once it breaks out, right? Quickly checking if there are questions. Mohit, if it is you can ask your question if it is related to what we just talked about.
नहीं भाई, मैं दूसरा स्टॉक सजेशन था, उस पे आपके व्यूज के लिए बोला था, BLAL BML लैंड एसेट्स पे।
हाँ, तो वो हाइटाइट फ्लैग है क्या? Is it a high tide flag? So I will not be taking any stocks this one right now. This is all about high tide flag. If you are here just to get my view on some random stocks, I am not going to do that today. So you can please leave. Okay. All right. So getting back to high tide flags, BSE is a good one. Although it seems that it's quite extended, but in a bull market, you never know how extended is extended. So bike is in a ascending. The mast itself is a base which is slightly ascending. Now sometimes people don't like ascending. I also not used to like, because I've read that कि अरे ascending वाले काम नहीं करते. But when a base is ascending, it basically shows strength in the base, so strength in the stock, right? तो मेरे को तो यही लग रहा है कि बाइक में अभी बहुत स्ट्रेंथ है, एंड 21 EMA पे आके फिर ये अभी probably going to bounce. कंसोलिडेटेड फिनवेस्ट, ये बहुत बढ़िया हाइडाइट फ्लैग ब्रेकआउट था, एंड आई हैड दिस गाय ऑन अलर्ट भी आया. एक्चुअली आई वेक अप लिटिल बिट लेट, सो आई कुडंट alert that, but it was a really nice breakout yesterday. Anywhere from 280 something to 294 295 would have gotten you a very nice entry, and stop loss इसके नीचे या base के नीचे. Stupid is again like it has now, this was not a breakout, failed breakout, now looks like a ascending base, and the same thing also goes ascending base because the stock itself is very strong. So DB reality, every day the stock is getting better and better. So one thing you've also probably noticed that high tide flag ka mast comes in different shapes and structures. Sometimes there is a double bottom in the base, sometimes there is an inverse head and shoulder in the base, sometimes the base is a straight rectangle like consolidated finvest mein dekha. Sometimes it's like it has a negative slope, sometimes it has a positive slope. So these are all different forms of structures you are gonna get, and depending upon the price action, some are good, some are bad, right? So धुनसेरी भी बहुत बढ़िया लग रहा है. See that like the volumes are none. The thing is, एक दिन आएगा and एक झटके में 20% 10% टाइप का मूव देगा. The thing is like you don't know when it comes, so but it will come, right? So if you have the little bit of, I don't know what, like fundamental inkling to the stock, then the best way to catch these guys are just put a GTT, Eclerics again getting better and better and better and better and better, and now you see the Mars is slowly getting to the positive, I mean the boundary of the zero level, and at that time also the price is also now coming near to 21 is an excellent support, and it's the more it sort of goes sideways, the probability of it getting giving a bounce increases more and more, right? And you can see that the volumes will also start coming in just before that. ये बंदा बहुत सता रहा है, but the bounce is very near. This is a very nice base on base structure. The bounce is very near, electrocast steel, again I think this is the base. The actual base breakout जब होएगा इस rectangle और like upward sloping rectangle के ऊपर आएगा breakout, like something like in rail tail today. Okay, this is what I am trying to tell you. So you see rail tail में भी ये जो flag का mass था, I mean this is not a high tide flag, but just to give you an example what I am trying to say, this was the flag pole, this is the mast. Now the mast itself has an upward slope. Why? Because it's like huge, मतलब बहुत ही ज़्यादा तगड़ा stock है, सबको चाहिए, people with big money, and the breakout will actually look like this. It will break out of the ascending this one, and यहाँ पे we also have the Mars का confirmation. So similar thing will possibly happen in things like this. Okay. Imami Realty, strong stock, strong sector, but it might take some time to develop. ASR shipping chala gaya. Yeah, fact also very similar to what I just showed you in Railtail. Now the thing is that iska it's not like a rectangle, but it's like a wedging up structure. But not all wedging up structures are bad, and fact is definitely not bad, because we clearly can see there is more accumulation than distribution inside, and at some point of time I expect it also to break out. It's expectations, okay. Now Jikre. So Jikre, okay, so at this point on this candle there was an entry, and that entry would have been when this high would have gotten up. आज के दिन में this was a very timid entry. मतलब देखो ये if you say that I am trading it above this, then bro why not just wait to break out the O'Neill pivot, right? आपको क्या मिल रहा है आज यहाँ पे entry लेके, आपको क्या मिला? 2.4% लेके आप क्या कर लोगे, right? So in my opinion there was no entry today as such, but being said that I am very I'm not confident, but looks like it's going to break out, but again the breakout might not come tomorrow or day after, or rather what this guy can say is मेरे को एक और tea चाहिए, like I am yet to digest a lot of stuff, and then something like this might happen, and if it happens I will be really happy, because the more it digests, the more it makes a decent enough base which is less than 2 to 5 weeks, the impending move will be utna hi tagda, right? So again, don't be bothered by looking at this upper weeks आएंगे because सब resistance में क्या आते हैं, resistance will upper weeks ही आएंगे, right? GMDC clipped me I think on this day or this day, but it's setting up very nicely, 1T 2T and this is the third T, and very soon we will have a up move. Again one can now say that okay मेरे को इसके ऊपर लेना है, actually yeah, so इसके ऊपर लेने से अच्छा है, I mean if the volume and all is really good, then you can take, because O'Neill pivot is not clear here, although this is the line I have put, but again this is not a very clean O'Neill pivot, and that's why in my opinion this cheat entry could be taken. Okay, so GMDC is nice. Orient Green Power, again like I said, this was a failed वो, तो one horizontal line सब में काम नहीं करता है, but one horizontal line fail होने के बाद you can actually use the concept of pattern morphing and then try to plot what the base actually looks like, so these concepts you will never find in any books because nobody has written about these concepts yet. HAL. Now HAL, this could be this whole thing could be looked at as a base which is sloping up. Now why? Because why is it sloping up? भाई base तो flat होना चाहिए नहीं, bro, बहुत शक्ति है. Hind rectifiers, again this is not a great this one, because it's like almost like there is not much shape at all, but it's at around 50 DMA, and yeah, I think it'll find buyers for sure. IFCI, O'Neill pivot base breakout के बाद आया, what happened? See what happens after breakout के बाद retest होता है, almost 50 to 60% of the stock in good bullish conditions also they retest, so we had a retest and then it's slowly inching up. आएगा मतलब like a big candle will come, then again we'll have like some consolidation, and then because that's how stocks move. Okay, IFLGR, again like this could be if tomorrow a bounce comes, then this would look like a shakeout, and if that's the case, then IFLGL export will be a better setup, because a lot of weak hands would be flushed out. Intense Tech, this is a very nice pivot here. ITI, now ITI is taking some time, but I am again, this is something which I started off today saying that like okay, once things no longer become a high tide flag, it becomes an I high tide flag, right? So Indian high tide flag, and if it doesn't remain उससे भी लंबा हो जाएगा, तो things like an IRFC, there is going to come a move someday, because the fact that after 100% sort of a move things are not going below 20-25% tells you that distribution नहीं है भाई, accumulation hai, right? So that's and also like clearly monitoring the price volume action in here suggests that there are no sellers. The only problem is buyers has to have to come back, and they'll come back soon. So Jai Balaji has been a good trade for me, and again this is where a little bit of awareness comes into play. You know that if Jai Balaji moves, then it will move in circuits, and you will know that when the breakout happens you will probably not get a chance to get in, and that's why my entry was 2 days before the actual breakout. This was also an A but sort of a setup, whereas 1T 2T and there was a third T, and today I almost de-risked at 24%, and the rest will now free flow, right? Jindal Photo, this is one guy, it has frustrated me to my core. Like I cannot tell you how frustrated I am with this guy. I did not trade it as part of the HTF because even before I did that, I think I already had some of it, but it has truly frustrated me. I'm still hopeful that because see, there is no sellers, like it's just like people who are selling here, they're just like bored by this name, because uh, they got in either on this day, or like any other day, anticipating the up move, but up move is not coming, and so like every day chalo matlab, so many other stocks are flying, so that's what's happening right now. Hopefully it goes, but the thing is, if you have a rule of like a time stop, ki theek hai, I got into a trade and after 15 days also if that guy doesn't move, then I will get out. So it's good to have a time stop kind of a thing, if you are encountering more of such things in your trade. With me, it's not that much of a problem right now because some of the other things which I have are moving decently, so I'm not feeling that much. But generally, it's good to have a criteria of a time stop. Jayaprakash, it's a nice breakout, and then it's now basing sideways, and very sure at some point of time it's gonna break out. And when that breakout also coincides with this DTL breakout, it will be like a very nice nice क्या बोलते हैं उसको, it'll be a nice confirmation, and that will be also very bullish. Okay, so Jayaprakash Associates. Now Jayaprakash Power is something which I hold. I bought on this day, and I could have sold here, but I did not because this is a power sector. Power sector is hot. बढ़िया एंट्री मिला तो थोड़ा होल्ड करते हैं, एंड आई एम वेरी श्योर, आई मीन नॉट very sure, I think I should stop saying I'm very sure, but I think in my opinion, it has a high probability of now giving a pullback reversal or the bounce, and this is picture perfect money, like this is a bigger kind of this structure is basically what they call it cup and handle, right? Cup and handle में क्या होता है, like there is a previous uptrend, there is a cup, and there is a handle, right? It's just that O'Neill cup and handle के characteristics में ये नहीं आता है because the base depth, the timing, and all are a little different, but patterns are fractal, right? So the same thing will also apply. This breakout is pretty much tradable, really. This one. So if you have any questions pertaining to what I'm speaking, you can just interrupt me and ask. Okay. Kalyan Jewelers. This is a very nice setup again. A little bit lost steam right now, but again, it's not like really gone into the depths of despair. It's still above 50 SMA, and very high probability trade right now. Killpest. So Killpest, again, this is what I was telling. हाईटाइड फ्लैग था एक ज़माने में, हाईटाइड फ्लैग नहीं रहा, आई हाईटाइड फ्लैग बन गया. अभी कुछ ज़माने के बाद ये बिग बेस ब्रेकआउट बन जाएगा, राइट? सो यू कुड हैव एंटर्ड ऑन दिस डे एज अ DTL ब्रेकआउट, बट ठीक है, बिकॉज there is a possibility that it again comes and makes a third T. That's why the trade was not very high probability. Second thing was also that it is just recovering the relative strength, and the hope in this case is that okay, यहाँ पे आके थोड़ा सा मिलेगा भैया को ये supply, and then possibly a tight area, something like this, and if that happens, then this is सोने पे सुहागा. KPI Tech. So KPI Tech is still a good one. People in the sense like traders who entered this breakout, which is a cheat entry, that they can still hold this. It's just 2 days, and they can have the low of the day as stop loss or low of the whole base as stop loss, and yeah, looks good, man. Maharashtra Seamless again, like setup is still tradable. I would have liked to have better volume profile here, but setup is still tradable. A stock which is really sought after by a lot of big guys, also a very small cap, so has a lot of run length, runway. Marine electricals, okay, I don't like this is like actually not a pole, this is like just a so Marksa Pharma, one of the best setup in the market right now is Marksa Pharma. MBL Infra, MCX. So MCX is slowly getting to the category which I do not like. There is something in here which I don't like. There is something. Okay, I still am unable to put that in words. Okay, maybe I can. So you see now, MCX में पोल कौन सा है? पोल का हाई ये था ना, तो ये this has become the pole ka high. Now what I don't like is this this move from here to here was not supported by volumes, rather it was supported by a lot of selling, right? So now this is because यहाँ पे there was a lot of weakness which generally is not visible to on the naked eye, and now that weakness is getting more and more visible. Okay, so I expect this to sort of रीसेट, इसको बेस, ये छोटा सा बेस अभी ब्रेकआउट ना होके आई थिंक इट विल रीसेट, देन फॉर्म अ लिटिल लॉन्गर बेस एंड देन इवेंचुअली ब्रेकआउट समवेयर हियर if it has to break out. Yeah, but I sense a little bit of weakness here. Again, I could be wrong, but that's just the reading of the price action right now. So Modison, again same thing. This is what happens. Like base के बाद if follow through is not huge, then it again makes a smaller base. ये चला गया, ये हाई टाइड फ्लैग था एक ज़माने पे, ये अभी हाई टाइड फ्लैग से ये अभी बिग बेस बन रहा है. And things which are in the black, which are not which is not outperforming in terms of relative strength, just does not excite me. Like, so I'll just Navkar Corp, if you remember, it was here and this was my anticipation कि बंदा ऐसा कर सकता है, तो सिमिलर चीज़ कर रहा है. होपफुली 21 पे आके, और पॉसिबली इवन टुमारो it can sort of bounce back. एंड विल हैव टू सी देन, टूटी बनाएगा नहीं बनाएगा, ऊपर चला जाएगा. Nyckel is still one of my darling setup in the market right now. This is, yeah. So when this breakout happens, I'm already in on this day. But when this breakout happens, I intend to somehow get some funds and double it up. Okay. Chitco. Some of you got clipped here, I think. Yeah, it's how it is, man. Like, can't do anything about it. But here's a small woe. So these are two green lines. This is super trend 10.2 and super trend 10.3. If you don't want to get clipped, and you are a true trend follower, okay, you can use super trend 10.3 as your stop loss, some percent below. If you think that this is too wide, you can also use super trend 10.2 some percent below as your stop loss. These two are like very high probability. This will keep you in the trend game for a long time. Okay. So again, like I said, this business is something which I don't like when it happens inside the base. Okay, because क्या होता है कि ये ऊपर जाएगा नीचे आएगा, ऊपर जाके ठुकेगा नीचे जाके ठुकेगा, ऐसा कर करके, like I don't know, at some point of time it will break out, and that is the actual breakout. I think we'll see an example. So Omex has now no longer a high tide flag. 63 days, like 63 days is what, 7 7s are 49, right? So it's more than like the 5 week this one, but now it has become a high tide flag, sorry, a big base. Now whenever this guy breaks out from this, it's a very high probability setup actually, you know. 1 point solution is still a peak high tide flag, and yeah, looking forward to trade this. Orient Ceratec, I think you can still consider it as a IHTF. PCBL is a really nice high tide flag. Actually, not a high tide flag, but still a really decent flag. I don't know why this guy is here. PPL. Now PPL, I am still in this trade because I entered on this day thinking that this was this one, and then abhi tak hu main. But yesterday's action has actually made the whole thing better. the probability from my side, in my opinion, that it is going to break out soon again. So one can say that okay, this is the line which I'm gonna trade the breakout, or you just put a straight line on top of the previous high. Prestige, it's again it's very small base. I wouldn't be trading this, or at least trading this with the thinking that like 50, 40, 30% milega. If I'm trading a small base, it will be like 10, 5% the initial move before it again like sort of goes sideways. Pritika Auto, um, again like basing after this. Now you can see that okay, this guy now has a character. तो character क्या है? ये बंदा ये छोटा पोल बनाएगा 50-55. This is also, I mean, not 50-55 but similar. And so you can also expect that if this guy now breaks out, then you will like probably get like 40% like that. So because every stock sort of has a character, okay, and if you see enough of these things will repeat in the stock. Quick heal, I talked about this yesterday. It was a very high probability setup, and yesterday was early signs, lot of triple V's hitting, plus also the volumes was coming. And today we have a breakout plus also a crossback confirmation. And you know what, the breakouts which is actually not like high 10% or uske above breakout, those breakouts are difficult to enter because अरे 10% already chala gaya, and if you cannot time that. But if quick heal, if one would have seen at the end of the day today, this could have been a really good entry because you could have sized it big and have a small stop loss. Day end of the day, low of the day could have been a small stop loss. And if you get clip, you get clip, right? But think about if it actually works on your favor, then with the big size, you could have quickly de-risked it and then let a smaller size play out a longer run. Radico Shaitan is also like looking good. Now the thing is, today is a red candle and also bigger volume. Now many people would probably think that this is actually a bad candle, but it's not a bad candle. Half of the volumes that came today is actually buying volumes, okay? And in my opinion, it's the probability of a bounce back is very high, okay? And so now what kind of a base one can expect is like a inverse head and shoulder kind of a base, right? And if you really have some faith in Radico Shaitan, this could be your first entry, if you are a big fan of like averaging things up, buying in small quantities. So these are the different kind of things which you can inculcate in your trading depending upon what kind of a trader you are. You don't have to imitate someone exactly like that, because you are you and he is him or she is him, right? But the main thing is to know each setup is different and each setup comes with your own pros and cons. Rec small base, Ratan India. See, what is this? What is this? What the fuck is this? This is a base which is sloping up, and bases slope up because it is the strength is very high. And Ratan India coming from, I don't know what this guy does, but looks like it's a very this one. So now the thing is, this is just something for myself I wrote because this is an observation I want to make, and this observation will further solidify some of the hypotheses I have in the market which are still under testing process, right? So ये जब आएगा breakout, तो Mars वाला breakout होएगा कि नहीं, so Mars breakout is something which then will have a lot of Sasta Sundar is one of the peakest setup, getting so tight, 10 और 21 के बीच में सैंडविच होके बैठा है since 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 days. तो अभी और किधर जाएगा ये, so looks like a bounce is imminent. Senko is still an amazing setup. The logical place to put a stop loss would be somewhere below this, and if you don't follow that, you just put some point below 10.2 or 10.3, which will also give you a similar kind of stop loss, okay? So one thing I generally see this in many traders who just began, there is a very big fascination or lure of using very tight stop losses, but it's essential to also understand that with tight stop loss comes the fact that you will be clipped left, right, and center, bro. And if your psychology is if that clipping will harm your trading more than it will like add to your trading, the psychology, at least in the beginning, just fucking use a bigger stop loss and size it small. You are here to like, yeah, you're not straight here to make big money. You have to like start from 1 to then go to 10, 20, 30, 100. So build your confidence up. So again, this is not a diss of for people who trade small SLs. I also do that sometimes, but it's just that if that is actually harming your mood, harming the whole day, it's not worth it. Yeah. Solar India. So Solar India is in my opinion a very what is the word, very strong setup, because there was a negative news in this day, and the negative news was laptop, matlab left, right, and center. What does this tell you about the strength of the stock? you know Spencer's very nice mast is getting formed. थोड़ा लंबा हो जाए, it will be like a setup you should not miss. Star Trek is a 2T mast now, and this is also a setup one should not miss. I mean, not like that, sorry, but like it's a constructive setup. Suzlon also getting better and better. Now you can say that okay, I can trade this. This is a reversal pivot. Sean Energy, very very strong name. Broke out, tested the breakout level, shot up, 3 days of consolidation, and yeah, very soon, probably max a couple of days, and again it will shoot up, right? So staircase pattern से ही चलेंगे. Syncom for move, I don't know what this is, but looks good. Again, Talbro Auto. Now Talbro Auto has something which I don't like. You guys know that this guy is now slowly trying to be that other name. Tata Invest also, this is something also I don't like, in the sense that this is like creeped up till here. So at max, at worst, there will be like a smaller base here, and it could possibly shake out some people who have stop losses here. There's like a very very big chance. Okay, so yeah, I mean, trade management is not easy, man. Inox Green Energy forming a base, very nice base, very strong name. Country Club Hospital, very nice base, like yeah, this pivot is tradable in my opinion. Inox Wind also very very good base. um, if this were to break out, what I would do is I would try to, if I were to trade this, because it's a smaller base, there is always a chance that the follow through will again come back to for a retest. So what I would do is I would size it big, take profit at a smaller number, like 6-8%. So big size say profit ले लिया, and then I trim the position to the regular or smaller, so that I can wait and again capitalize on the move after some time. So knowing inside out how a high tide flag, uh, what a high tide flag does, depending upon what it is doing now, is such an integral part um, of a better trader, trading setups according to their own merits. This is also something worth following. Again, it's just 3 or 4 days. And last one is Munjal Auto Industries. Amazing. Like, इससे बढ़िया क्या चाहिए आपको? Almost a true pole. Humongous volume on the true pole. Not much given up from the top, and the base size is also 14 days 10 bars. So sort of lower level से तो अभी थोड़ा ऊपर जाने को है. Mr. BBB also is here, and possibly now this guy is also starting to move up, right? Okay, so I'll stop here, and take questions if you have any. Yeah, I'm not going to take any stock questions if it is not related to high tide flags, okay? Mark San, can you clarify why it's a super setup? For sure. So Marksa. Yeah, so Marksa is a super setup because it has all the characteristics of a really good flag. Okay, you see, this pole is a true pole. माने कि almost every other day the the price was making either a higher high or a higher low, right? So means like every day there was buying. So that means that Marksa Pharma is actually with strong buying power, strong hands and everything. Now once the mast started to come up, then the second thing you have to see the how much it has given up. It has only given 9% after an up move of 77%. So what is the ratio here? 1 is to 8. So like it has just given up 1/8 of the initial up move, right? So that is the second thing, which is like very shallow pullback. The third thing you see here is how big is the base. So the it's like 10 days. Okay, so 10 days is decent, like it's still at the lower end. We need more than 10. 15 to 20 is like the sweet spot, but 10 above 10 is still fine, so it is going to be above 10. Today was the 10th day, and you can see when this pullback the pullback happened, the base formation happened, there was no selling at all, and every day the volumes actually started to be smaller and smaller. So how much was the volume here? The volume was 3.52 million. Next selling day was 1.6, which means almost आधा से भी कम. Then the next was 998, so two third, 828, 751, 718, right? So at some point of time, the volumes will be like there will no sellers left in this counter, and when there is no sellers left, even a little bit of buying appearing will then push the prices up. Okay, so that is what's going to happen in Marxa Pharma, and from whatever angle you look at, it's a really great name. If you look at the monthly chart, you can see that it's actually just broken out of a huge base, like huge base, like yeah, I cannot dramatize more than this, but it's a huge cup and handle, like you know. So abhi to, in my opinion, move has just begun. um, so you can see like how much buying power has, like from the levels of 70 and even like 44ish, uh, there's a huge buying here, like that is why given all of these reasons, I think Marxa Pharma is a peak setup. Just let me check if it is already in my hit list. Yeah, it was not. So thank you, Anil, for the question. Yeah. Hey, is NDTB not considered as HDF? We'll have to check. Okay. Wow, this is also a good one. Um, why has it not come in our setup? Because um, yeah, because it's a small cap. So small cap में I think we have 70% pole का वो, and that's why it's not come in our IHDF scan. So it's a really good flag. It's a A1 flag, but it's not a high tide flag. Um, check BOB, Tata Steel, Hind Copper. Bhai, please check Bilal. All right. Any other questions? Ajit, you have a question? Please go ahead.
Yes, Prakash, I have a question. My question is mostly to understand if there is any sectoral rotation you're seeing. The reason for this question is because last week, uh, yeah, had a lot of FII buyings, right? So I just want to understand, was there any move in a specific sector?
Um, the as the days passes by, energy is getting stronger and stronger. Um, yeah, so oil and petrochemicals and a little bit of QSR today, but in general, a lot of see, if you can you see this can you see this chart?
Yes,
So this is 20-day rolling return of index, okay? So if you see from this time onwards, October, late October onwards, CNX Realty started the outperformance, and sometime last month it was like really peak outperformance. So CNX Realty is slowly like now losing its outperformance, and who is emerging is CNX Realty. So right now CNX Realty is really top. So this is on index level. Energy is the clean outperformer, man. And if you see generally industrials like all like the capital goods industrials, those are the names which are on top. Um, and yeah, not so much from there. In general, those are the names. So if you see that last 20 days, which is the sector that performed the highest, right? That would be oils, realty, even IT. You know, so the problem with charting and this one, following sector rotation from this is that we don't have. So the first requisite um, of looking at sector rotation is to actually have the most proper classification of the stocks into different sectors, right? The problem is charting doesn't have that, and none of the Indian these charting softwares have a proper classification, and that's the problem with deriving that. But from just the looks of it, energy, power, these are the sectors which are really growing strong, and reality was strong. Now it is slightly losing its outperformance, but it is still outperforming a lot. So those are the names I'm looking for, and the public sector insurance is definitely uh, strong right now. It's basing. Adani groups as a group are strong, and from there also you can see that anything related to power, energy, those guys are outperforming. Um, yeah, I don't have much to add to that.
Hi, Prakash.
Hi Raj.
Prakash, can you take a look at cellular? I think it's an high tide flag, but you can verify, please.
What's the name? Cellular.
Cellular, CE.
CE.
LL.
LL.
Cellular something. Cellular.
Can you like spell it for me?
CELLECUR. Celicor Gadgets.
Okay. Yeah, so this guy is not sure how big is the company. Market cap भी नहीं दिखा रहा है.
It's just recently IPO'd.
Okay, so this is actually all right. So as soon as the IPO came, there was huge demand, tuck 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 tuck, like huge volumes every day. Stock is moving up up up. Some selling happened here, and this this zone is used by bears to sort of offload. That is pretty clear. But it's also clear that this level is used by bulls to again accumulate. So because I don't like the volume pattern in this, uh, which is that Yeah, I mean, the volume pattern is okay in the sense that यहाँ पे there is a lot of volumes which is now getting lower when this is happening, and some volume to push it up. But again, like here, थोड़ा सा वॉल्यूम कम होने से और अच्छा होता. But it is definitely developing as a very constructive base. All I would say is uh, trade the breakout with confirmation.
Okay.
Yeah, because there is a high possibility next time also it comes here, then uh, there will be some selling. So make sure that you get a candle, nice big fat candle with volumes, and thoda sa, even if you get a price which is not ideal for you, it would still be fine, because if the confirmation breakout is confirmed, it will have lots of legs because of the kind of up move it already had. So all right, we'll add this to the HTF list. Okay.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah, this looks great, man. Thanks. Where is it? Oh, fucking hell, where is it?
On the top.
Ah, yeah, yours. Thanks. Okay, great question. Thank you. Anyone else has a question?
Hey Prakash, NIIT, can you just have a
Yes.
look?
Yes. Why is that not in our list, man? This one? NIIT?
Yeah.
And this one.
NIIT Limited, just limited, yeah.
So this guy is now a big base. ये तो I think how long is the base now?
Well, quite a long.
Yeah, 96 days माने ये I के लिए भी नहीं आएगा, you know. This is like a big base now, and
the खिला हुआ candle आया, but अभी यानी there is no follow through yet.
yeah. But आएगा. Like I am, again, I don't want to be like very very sure, but something tells me it's near. Reminds me of the IRFC base.
Yeah. The left side is still shaky. I mean, there's just that big red candles are little there, but yeah, I mean, now it is getting very smaller and tighter.
Yeah, man. Yeah, आएगा bro. पक्का है. Have a feeling.
All good.
All good, yeah. Yeah, let's also track this in this one. Color change कर देते हैं. All right, folks.
Hi, Prakash. This is Joy.
Hi, Joy.
Reading. Hi.
Hello.
Quick one. Hi, hello. Prakash, Coal India, it looks like a flag to me. And can you just help
Yes,
ascertain?
Coal India is a brilliant flag, man.
And it's got a breakout today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. It's a breakout with khela hobe candle, man.
Candle.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a brilliant. If anyone entered this today, I'm telling you, you made a good choice. So if you see, generally this is what happens. Okay, now this is something which many people will. Yeah, so I think this has got legs, and yeah, I think like it's difficult to say that it's a flag, but I mean it's such a constant buying and respecting the 2021 EMA. Like it's almost like BSE, you know. Every time BSE hits 21 EMA, you could buy, like eyes closed. I think Coal India is also that kind of a list now. And today's entry would specially be better for me because it's more confirmation that, because generally what happens once the outperformance happens and the Mars loses strength, the best place is to again enter when the Mars is just near the zero line. I can show you enough examples of this, and that's why also I like this today's entry. Yeah,
Great, thanks, Anand.
awesome. All right, guys. Uh, Thank you for joining me. It's been an hour, and I will